Well, welcome, sir.
Thanks for having me.
How is it being at London Comic Con?
I love it. It's the first time in London. It's an absolutely gorgeous city. The people are very lovely and nice. I've been through Europe the last 10 days, so it's nice to be in a part of Europe where everyone speaks English. It's pretty sweet.
We just had the finale in America. I'm allowed to brag because I was there, so broken any spoilers. And it was left in a bit of a precarious situation.
I'm sorry, say it one more time?
You all left on that island, as far as we know.
Yeah.
So what's it like going into the next season then? Because it's a bit of a unknown.
Yeah. I mean,
Who's left?
I know who's left, right? Who's dead? Who's alive? You know, they really keep us in the dark. We don't get our scripts till probably about 3 or 4 days before we start shooting. As far as I know, I'm still working next season, but I would not. Anything can happen. You know, they call you up like, "Hey, by the way, you're dying in episode 1." Just want to let you know. But no, I think a lot of us will survive and come back and try to pick up the pieces and the fallout of that ending. No, so I don't want to spoil it for anybody who didn't see it. But yeah, I think it's going to be a great season. The way we ended it is really going to lead off to some real cool things for season 6, and I think you'll see us really dealing with that ending like in a really in-depth way.
You had one of the fan favourites come back from an earlier season before you joined Echo. Of course, Slade Wilson, played by Manny Bennett. What was it like working with him on set, and how did you enjoy that character being part of the show again?
Yeah, for me, my favorite episode of Arrow is the penultimate episode of season 2 when he guts Moira. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen that. And so just to see him come back and to get to be a part of that in any capacity was like really like nerd heaven for me. I love that character. I love Manu. Him and Slade and the Green Arrow's history is just so awesome and vivid and brutal, and so for him to come back in this capacity, for me, when I first read it, it was just like goosebumps and chills, and it's just like so dope that they were able to pull it off. And I think the fans really responded well to it, and I just, the end of this season was just like, I couldn't believe I was a part of something so cool like that.
And of course you had your own kind of behind the scenes on Arrow storyline with your husband Paul, haven't you? I mean, watching how that's coming out, and you were expecting a different outcome than perhaps everyone else might have been.
Yeah.
How do you think that will go forward now?
Yeah, I think for Curtis moving forward with the Paul situation, he's going to kind of have to find himself. He definitely still loves Paul and wants to make it work, but I think he's going to have to get out in the field in a different capacity. You date a little bit, see what else is out there, and then see if he can, if possible, rekindle his relationship. But you'll definitely see him move on in some capacities from that.
Curtis has been a big matchmaker this season as
well.
He,
oh, he's shipping, yeah.
Back Felicity. What are your feelings on Felicity? Because some fans love it,
some fans do not. For me, coming onto the show, as Curtis and getting to work with Emily Batt, I just love Curtis's and Felicity's relationship, and so it makes perfect sense to me that Curtis would definitely be like pro that and like really for it. And I think Felicity is really great. It just depends on exactly how it's executed, and I think I really love how they executed that relationship this season, how they still focus a lot on the action, what's going on, but that there still is that heart there. What I'm saying? I think that's important. So I really like where they're going with it, and I love that Curtis is like so amped to like hook them up and make it work, whether it's a Chinese food or whatever. It's just so fun to play a character like that with so much like optimism and just good vibes.
You provide a lot of comic relief as Curtis in that role, and is a lot of that ad-libbed, or do they sort of talk to you, or do you sort of provide any feedback on that?
I mean, our writers are really great. I think they really get it. They get the comedy and they get the dramatic stuff, and they let us play. But I really credit them really for their amazing writing. But they do let us ad-lib and have fun with it. And I come from a big improv background, So basically, anytime I can find it, and they're very like, go for it, Echo, which is really cool. I definitely like to play around, and go places, especially with Rick. Rick and I love just riffing on different things. So definitely add a lot of improv in there, but it really doesn't need to be in there because the writers are like, they're so legit.
Really well.
Yeah, they do, and I think they get my voice.
How was it for you to become a season regular on the show after just like guesting for a couple of episodes in previous seasons?
Yeah, I mean, a dream come true. I feel so fortunate to be even gifted the ability or chance to recur on the show, and for them to think I was doing such a good job, and the fans to feel that way too, and for them to ask me to stick around permanently. I mean, it's the stuff you wish you could have in your life, and I still pinch myself because I really do love the show, and it's actually a show. I've been on a couple shows, and none of my friends watch those shows or like them, but they love Arrow and the whole DC universe and everything like that. So it's definitely a dream come true to get to be able to be a focal point of the show, to actually be planted into the show and to be one of the characters that they focus on every episode.
What was it like for you going into that as, there was an already established core group?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly thought they would all be jerks when I first went in. It's like they're gonna be all mean and like, oh, we've been here for 3 years, get out of here. But they were all so down to earth and humble and funny and silly, and it's still what we carry throughout the show. I honestly think it was one of the funnest shows I've ever been on, as far as just working with people. Like, we just laugh so much before every take and play pranks and jokes, and it's such a fun environment to work on. The set, the crew, they really let us have fun, so it was nerve-wracking coming in. Like, I did not know what to expect, but all that was just pushed aside, and just a lot of openness and love there.
In terms of pranks, we've heard from other people on the show that John Barrowman is the master. Have you been Barrowmaned, and have you had other prank experiences you could share?
Yeah, I mean, everybody on the cast has seen Barrowman's butt. Like, he loves to do a surprise butt attack. But yeah, he's very funny. I cannot say the pranks he does outside of that, and they are all much worse than that. X-rated, but he really, like, season 4, I worked with him the last 2 episodes. I didn't work with him all season to the last 2 episodes, and he made such a huge impact on me in those last 2 episodes because he does like to have fun, and he has so much energy, but as soon as they call action, he's the most professional, like, gifted man there, you know what I'm saying? So it's just learning how he takes the love and the fun of the craft, but still applies the professional aspects to it, is like something that I'm like, I want to hone in on that and like really get that to a point like he does.
Now, for people who aren't familiar with a Barrowman butt attack, can you just walk through the mechanics of how they do it?
Like, like you're doing a scene, and you're like, okay, you're like rehearsing, and then like you turn around and Malcolm Merlin has his butt out, and he's like holding a sword. Like, what are you guys doing? Stuff like that. That's an easy surprise butt attack. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot. We all are pretty dirty and raunchy on set. Like, I wish I could tell you guys some of the jokes we played on each other.
With Black Lightning coming in to Seed, and Black Lightning and Mr. Terrific has a history in comics.
Yeah.
Would you like to do scenes with that character?
No, of course, yeah. I would love to do scenes with Cress. I met him a couple days ago. We had to do like a Mondo shoot, but yeah, they like in the comic books, they like had a connection with each other, like being two of only African American superheroes. So like that is something I would love to see addressed. And I mean, I know they kind of mentioned that it might not be a part of the Arrowverse, but anything's possible. Let's be real. Like, Supergirl was not a part of the Arrowverse, right? You know what I'm saying? So I think all these things are moving pieces and fluid, and so I think it could be a possibility. I would love to see it. I would also love to see, like, Mr. Terrific had connections with Black Canary and all these characters, and so the JSA and stuff like that. So I would love to see him mix it up with a lot of different characters, and even legends and all that stuff. Yeah.
Would you like to see more as Mr. Terrific then? Because you spent a large part in the beginning behind a computer like Felicity, and now we've had the T-spheres, and you've kind of gotten your own a bit. Would you like to see more of that?
Absolutely, yeah. I would really love to see Curtis coming to his own as a fighter and really getting out there in the field. I mean, he's definitely starting to contribute more with having created the T-spheres, but I definitely want to see him get out there and show how badass he is.
How involved was the makeup process on your face for the team?
It is involved. It is very
Unrealistic then that you could put that on and then run straight out.
well. I mean, the actual practical applying of it, like even Stephen Amell's mask, like it takes like 20 minutes to apply still, you know, like, so practically none of it makes sense. But yeah, in a good way. But yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely like something we're addressing next year in a not so subtle way, but like I won't be wearing braids next year. And we're just trying to make the mask more efficient and just help the process. You know, like when Grant first started on Flash, it was like this one piece that could not be moved and was glued on. It took like hours, and now, you know, it's very simple and stuff like that. So it's kind of just this fluid motion kind of going on. And I feel like as far as the canon goes, you know, Mark said something really funny. He's like, Curtis is a metahuman. His only ability is he braids his hair instantly. So I like that.
I've always wondered which one of his team members actually braids his hair from every time.
Yeah, see, I was saying there's an African speedster somewhere that people don't know about that's coming to do it. But Curtis and Felicity could have created some machine or something like that too that did it really quick, you know. But I don't know if they. Hopefully they address it. I hope they do. That'd be cool.
It's like, we need backup. Yes.
Give me. There's this hilarious meme where I was like suit up and everyone's like, yeah, and he's like Mr. And then Curtis is like, let me get my braids in, my contacts. It's 2 hours later, and Oliver's like, I'm gonna kill you, Mr. It's really funny meme.
Would you like more crossovers, because the massive invasion crossover? Would you like something more next seasons?
Yeah, absolutely. Those crossovers are some of the most fun. I know for me personally, reading comic books, that was when I was at peak nerdiness. Like, you know, when the crossovers happened and different characters from different segments would interact with each other and take on a big bad. So for me, that's like comic book heaven. And to see us actually, to be a part of it, to see it, to be alive, you know, when this is happening in the cinematic world is like so dope and so cool. So I love to see it. I want to see it more and more and more. Obviously, it's really tough with everyone's schedules to, you know, just create that time so that we all can do it and still, you know, be on our own shows. But I am down for any process that they want to get that.
Ideal scenario, if you could have anyone in that crossover and anything happen, what would you like to see happen in that next crossover, which obviously we are going to get?
Yeah, you know, I'd like to see Mr. Terrific lead everyone. You know, no, I mean, you know, for me, God, I mean, Invasion was so good, you know. Yeah, I would love for them to, you know, take on like some big bad like Darkseid or Darkseid or something like that. It would be so cool, like to just, you know, really go for it. And yeah, I just want to see. I love any of the crossovers. I mean, whether it was a, you know, Invasion or when the Legends came on or whatever, it's just epic, you know. And so I just want to see them get bigger and bigger and bigger.
And if you could solve the conundrum of what's going to happen in that after that cliffhanger episode, because obviously there's been lots of speculation online. Has Slade taken them to the bunker, for example? Mm-hmm. How would you solve it if you had to solve it?
How would Curtis solve it?
How would Curtis solve it, and how would you solve it as well?
I think Curtis would have brought like T-spheres for everyone to fly out of that joint, you know, before it blew up. Me personally, I would have solved it by not going to islands. Like, no, we're not doing that. I don't trust no islands. This volcano just made this. No. But yeah, that's pretty much all I do.
What do you think of that fan theory that Slade's taken them to the bunker? They're all
Yeah, I've heard like, you know, Slade might have taken them to the Argus bunkers and stuff like that, or possibly they fixed the plane enough time to get off. I think they're pretty good fan theories. I think they're definitely within the realm of plausibility. Yeah, so I mean, it could definitely happen. It's up to the writers, and you know, who knows if they're listening.
Are you guessing? You said you only get the script so many days before. Are you guessing when, like, say, on the penultimate or the one before that script? Are you thinking, how are they going to get out of this? You know?
Yeah, definitely. We definitely wonder those things. Also, we wondered, like, I hope I'm not dead. Don't tell me I'm not dead. You know, so you're right, slipping through that too. But yeah, it is something as a fan. You know, I read the scripts once and I try to forget them so I can like watch it and like be invested and live in it. But it definitely, reading them was like, you know, at the edge of my seat, mouth agape, like, whoa, like I couldn't believe what was happening, but I was just like so geeked out that Slade was coming back. That was like the main thing. I was just like, oh my God, Slade Wilson's back. Holy you know, now, and I'm the worst spoiler. Like, I spoiled Prometheus at the beginning of the year that he was Josh and nobody saw it, and I was like, oh, thank God. So it's tough for me to keep my lips like sealed. So I'm like, just please air, let this out. Like, please, I just don't want the pressure. So yeah.
And do you believe that Malcolm Mellon is going to be dead? Do you think he's got out of there somewhere? Like by pulling Boomerang onto the line?
Well, all I gotta say is, if you don't see a body, play ball. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. I think there's always room. I mean, I think there's a room for him to come back for sure. You know, anything can happen, especially in these universes. You know, so I would not say anything's final.
Do you actually know who the Vigilante is at all? Are they going to bring in that back?
Vigilante will definitely come back. I have no idea who it is in any way, shape, or form. The Vigilante is all of us, is what I tell people. We're all him.
And obviously, talking about the crossovers, you're excited, fans are excited about that, but I think there's a sense that, I mean, with the combinations we've already seen, there's kind of, you know, where do you go from there? How do you make it bigger than what you've already done? Do you have a sense of kind of how they can top what they've already done with that?
You know, that's very interesting, right? Every year on Arrow, it's a bigger and bigger kind of thing that's happening. The city, now the world with nukes. And I think one of the cool things you saw about season 5 is they went the opposite spectrum. It wasn't this big city, it's more of a personal thing. So I think they could definitely switch it up on people, and it doesn't have to be this big, you know, huge thing. It could be more of a really personal tragedy that they're dealing with that could be interesting too. You know what I mean? Like, it could inverse on itself, and we could probably create something really amazing from within that. Because I really love how season 5 really took a different tilt from that whole the city's in danger, you know, the world's in danger type of thing. It was really like personal for what's going on with Oliver and the team, and I definitely think they can spin that too with the crossovers.
So now you've got your summer break. What's next for you? What are you doing?
Working on an album right now. It's hip hop. Hope to release it. Oh my God, is everyone okay? Let's go. Hope to release it by the end of this year. Just, you know, checking out Europe, you know, taking a break. Yeah.
Sorry, that's all we have time for.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. It's great to talk to you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.